Zero, MEK, it is the 194 Morning Playhouse, especially early in a relationship. I think this can happen anytime, but especially early. You got them little love blinders on. You overlook some stuff.
Yeah, you think, oh, it's really not that bad because there's all these other amazing things that are happening.
So here are some of, according to some relationship pros, glaring red flags that people overlook early in relationships that then when that relationship has gone on for too long or it's done, they're like, I saw this. I don't know how I didn't see this. I just chose not to see it. But if the person is very controlling, very jealous, very angry, very critical of you, dishonest, kind of gaslighting you, cutting you off from friends and family. These are the core glaring red flags. People are like, I saw it, but I didn't see it. I chose not to.
But if someone's angry all the time, why would you want to be around that?
You have them love blinders on. For whatever reason, you were choosing to overlook it or think, I can change them.
What? Being angry?
People even tell you, hey, you see this thing with them? Oh, no, you don't know how they are when we're alone.
That is true. A lot of people will say that. Like, well, with us, it's different. Is it, though?
But I thought maybe we could yank that concept and just pose this one on the Playhouse. When you look back over your romantic life over the years, what is the most glaring red flag you chose to ignore? Actually, you know what? Let's widen it. The glaring red flag you chose to ignore, this could be a romantic relationship. This could be a workplace. You ever start somewhere, you have an interview, and you're like, this is a terrible place, but you chose to work there anyway, and then it just proved to be true. This could be maybe a red flag about a living situation, a friendship. I think we open it up to all kinds of glaring red flags, where after the situation, you were like, I saw this. Why did I ignore this? You felt like a dummy.
This is so open now. There's so many red flags.
I think you broaden it to all those different situations. Like, you ever have a situation in life where you walked away from this and you're like, I ignored this obvious red flag.
It's hard for me to narrow it down now. I got to look at all these different things.
It's here. It's here, isn't it?
In this room?
Is it me?
No, it's not.
Am I involved in this?
No, you're not involved. My mind is still stuck on like romantic partners and things I ignored. I had one where I dated someone for a very long time, actually, and I didn't know he didn't have a job. He also didn't have a license.
Oh, no.
I didn't know until his mom said something about it. And she's like, did you drive here? And I was like, what? No, your son did. And she's like, he doesn't have a license.
The nice thing is, though, Steven's really grown up since then.
It's not Steven. Let me make that clear. It is not Steven. He's always had a license. He had a job when I met him. He's still working. It's not Steven.
If anything, you have always been the passenger princess.
That is true, but this is something else. Someone else.
What glaring red flag, whether it was romance, work, friendship, living situation, whatever, that you chose to ignore this. You saw this, but you ignored it.
I would say the biggest red flag I've ever ignored was, it's kind of gross. This guy was obsessed with his sister. And every time, even like on our first few dates, I thought, oh, that's really cute. Like, he's very close to his family. However, every time I asked him a question, like, do you like amusement parks? He was like, I think they're okay. My sister loves them. And I'll say something like, do you go to church? My sister won't go to church, but I go to church. I'm like, okay. And then eventually it was just so over the top. And when I saw them together, I was like, oh boy, this is another level of incest or something. Something really off was happening between them. And I wish that I hadn't ignored that red flag.
Were they twins?
No, not even.
Because I thought maybe there's like a strange connection. But
yeah, no, they weren't.
Wait, so do we think he was like in love with his sister? Like, what are we?
If we're going down like the Freud path, I would say yes.
No.
I would say there is some sort of attachment to her that's very unhealthy.
Oh my God. Enough said, really, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually liked his sister way more than I liked him.
Him too, yeah.
That was when I knew.
Huh. I'm not even sure what we're implying there, but I appreciate the story either way.
Someone said he cheated on every girlfriend he ever had, and somehow every story would end with, but She wasn't giving me what I needed. And I heard all those stories. Still thought I was going to be different. I was not different. What about this one? Someone said, I heard mixed reviews of a daycare, and it was our only option. And it turned into a nightmare situation with the daycare eventually closing.
Is it kind of funny when you do, like, because that's a good example of this too, like business with somebody, like whether it's a contractor or the daycare, like you're choosing to do business with somewhere, you're giving them money, but like people are like, I don't know, maybe even read bad reviews, you're getting a weird vibe.
That's what I was thinking.
You're like, oh, but it's available or it's cheap, and then you go into it and it's almost like, well, I should have known. I guess I got what I paid for.
I think there's a lot with restaurants where you see bad reviews or you've heard people talk about it and you're like, no, it can't be that bad. It will be better for me. That must have just been an off day. And then you go and you're like, I should have listened to those reviews.
You know who, this is a very minor, I guess, example in this much larger conversation, but even like, has everyone told you that a movie or a series is crap?
Yeah.
Gave you bad reviews, but you're like, no, I've wanted to watch this. And they're like, you were right.
I shouldn't have watched it.
Glaring red flag you chose to ignore. This is, I think, romance, yeah?
I completely ignored the fact that my ex was an alcoholic. I truly did not know. It was always an excuse of, oh, I'm just going out before the baby gets here, just getting it all out my system. And it was just going out. I didn't know that he was drinking just so much and that it was going to be on a regular basis. And even after we got married, it never changed. After the baby came, it never changed. It actually just got worse. And so years later, it just ended up being a situation where I had to separate myself. It got bad. So, yeah.
Sorry about that, man. That glaring red flag, you chose to ignore it, though.
Someone said mine was that he still lived with his ex. He swore they were completely done, only sharing the house because the lease wasn't up. I even went over there. I saw her toothbrush next to his in the bathroom, asked about it, and he said, oh, she's just messy. But I was an idiot. They were still together. And someone else said, my friend only remembering me when she was single. If she had a boyfriend, I'd hear from her maybe once a month. The second they'd break up, she'd be texting me all hours of the day. Are you awake? Do you want to come over with me? Let's go out. I ignored it for years because we were friends since college, but she only wanted me in her life when she was single. Someone said, my red flag when my boss said, we wear a lot of hats here. I thought it meant everybody helped everybody out. What it actually meant is I got hired for one job, ended up doing three people's jobs without three people's paychecks.
It's a very nice way to say, just so you know, you're definitely going to be doing a lot more than you think you're going to be doing. Uh-huh. And they warned you. They told you so.
But did they?
We wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, not in the best way.
And I bet they're not fun hats.
No. Someone else said he was always late, not 5 minutes late. I'm talking 45 minutes, an hour late, sometimes more. And I kept bringing it up to him, and my boyfriend would say that's just who he was. Eventually, I realized he was just not okay with anyone calling him out, and he had no intentions to change. That
glaring red flag you chose to ignore.
Well, he had braces.
So? That's a red flag?
He was in his 30s.
He cares about his teeth.
Well, he told me that he had like some injury playing baseball and his teeth got messed up, like somebody threw a ball at him or something, and so he needed braces to fix it. But it turns out that he was just like not a good dude and was just like leeching off of his parents. Like he said that he bought his parents a house and that he was taking care of them, but it turns out they were taking care of him.
Got it. So there's a lot. It was a sign that there was more to the story.
Yeah, and from what I gather, like he told me, oh, they're going to be off in like 6 months, but I think he just had them for years and just wasn't taking care of himself.
Okay. Well, it's different. We see some more glaring red flags they chose to ignore.
Someone said he had no pictures of me anywhere on social media, not even one. We had been together for almost 2 years, and it's not like I was asking for this like giant Facebook announcement. But I noticed he would post pictures of his dog, his trucks, his buddies, sometimes when he was eating dinner. Never me. Turns out he didn't want certain women knowing he had a girlfriend.
Oh, funny how that works, huh?
Yeah.